Greetings, EastEnders fans, and welcome to the Albert Square After Dark Awards for the year of 2025. Hello! So, we are a little bit into 2026 now, and so it only feels right for us to look back over 2025 and throw the vote open to you for your favourite moments, your favourite characters, your favourite storylines, etc., etc., etc. Hello, Ree, how are you this week? All right?
Hello, Rob. Great, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right. So, you have been voting in your hundreds, nearly up to 1,000
Mm,
votes we had this year. It was very, very
yes.
good. Well done, everybody. But
Thank you.
before we get to the voted categories, there's this little extra award that we like to give out every single year.
The Platinum Star Award.
Platinum Star. So, in case you're new here, every week, me and Ree go through, or Ree and I, we go through the week's events in Albert
hmm
Square and we award a gold star to a character that stood out to us. And we get one each and we just hand that out accordingly. And the Platinum Star Award goes out to the character that received the most gold stars throughout the year. Now, previous winners of this award have been Cindy
Of
and
course.
Yolandi won it last year.
Yes, I do
However,
remember.
this year, great excitement because we've got joint winners this year. Oh, yes.
And it's quite a big surprise, isn't it? Well, I was surprised, but
Well,
also fair play.
so in third place was Barney Mitchell with 4 gold stars. Then in joint second place, get this, with 5 stars was Stacey Slater, Joel Marshall, Kat Moon, Nicola Mitchell, Harry Mitchell, and Nigel Bates. All second place with
Ah,
5 stars each. But the winner of the 2025 Platinum Star Awards is a joint two-place winner with 7 stars each, going to Phil Mitchell and Vicky Fowler. Ta-da!
wow.
Ta-da! And let me say, Phil Mitchell, you can understand that. He's had a huge year last year, didn't he? With all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
breakdown and the mental health stuff and everything.
And
Vicky has
Nigel.
not been around for that long.
No, and she's not. Obviously, she had the major part in the Joel storyline, but other than that, she's not had major parts. Although I think we probably both gave her a gold star when she smacked Zoe. I'm not gonna lie, so
Probably.
that might have just
Probably.
tipped her to get in first, joint
Might
first place there.
just have tipped it. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, Alice Haig has been great in the role, hasn't she? And I think we just like Vicky.
yeah,
We love the fact that she
yeah,
will just storm into any situation and look for a fight. Never mind search out of it. Vicky
yes.
will start fights, and we like
hmm
that.
And you know what? I was a bit cynical actually at first, if you remember. I found her a little bit too shouty, but actually I think it totally works, to be fair.
You
Like
know why?
she's spot
Because
on.
she just reminded you of yourself, I would say.
Yeah, all right, is that it? It was just a mirror. It was too real, weren't it,
Mirror it.
Rob?
Oh, I don't like that. People like that don't exist.
But Alice Haig has slipped
Mm.
really well into the
Oh,
square,
like a
hasn't
glove.
she?
Yeah, she fits that show like a
She's an
glove.
EastEnder, isn't she?
So good, so good. We
Yeah,
love
so
Vicky
good.
and hope that 2026 is a year of much more Vicky to come. And obviously, Phil Mitchell had the
Yeah,
massive storyline. Phil had a huge year,
yeah.
massively helped with flashbacks and looking back on his
Mhm.
life and the stuff with Nigel. So
Yeah.
unsurprising that and how many awards did that storyline win throughout the year of all the official? And we're not quite official. We're nearly there.
I mean, ours is a pretty good award, though,
I
to
would
be fair,
say
Rob.
it's up there. With
Platinum
BAFTAs and
star for
Oscars.
2025.
Come on. Come
Yeah.
on. So there we go. That's the Platinum Star awarded for this year. And first voted category from you guys is for Best Performance.
So the biggest category that we had was for best performance, and the top three were Lacey Turner in third place, Paul Bradley in second place, and first place. I think you guys all agreed with us. Steve McFadden with 27.2% of your votes.
Yeah, hardly surprising. I mean, there was a huge amount of people to vote for in this category, most out of any
Yes.
of the categories. So
21, I think we had.
yeah, so
Yeah.
27.2% in with that many people that you could vote for isn't bad
Yes.
going, I would say. Um,
No.
and hardly surprising either, is it?
No, not surprising at all. He had a really good year, like we said. It's amazing because a lot of his personal stuff was at the start of 2025 as well. And
Yeah.
then I'd say obviously it's trickled into the rest of the year, but then the rest of the year's been more focused on him and Nigel, hasn't it? So
Yeah,
he's had a big year
yeah,
all
which in
round.
itself, it's not like Phil's now gone quiet just because that
No,
storyline is finished. He's now, like you say, gone into the Nigel story. And not surprising to see Paul Bradley in second place either, to be honest.
no, definitely not. It just shows what a great duo those two are,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
And how that story has really flowed nicely, especially from one era to the other as well. Because sometimes
Yes.
what can happen is one story starts in one era and then the new guy comes in and it all kind of goes through the floor after that. But the consistency and sort of quality of that story has really kind of kept on top throughout the whole thing, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely agree.
Yeah, really pleased with that one. So yeah, Steve McFadden for best performance this year. We now move on to best villain. So the awards for best villain, your top three were Reese Colwell. In second place was Ravi Gulati. And in first place, with 58.8% of the vote, was Joel Marshall. Again,
Yeah.
not a huge surprise, I think. I mean, 58.8, like over half of all the votes for that category, is not bad going whatsoever. Max Murray has been fabulous in the role.
Yes, he has. And I think, if I'm honest, we struggled a little bit thinking of who to put in the best villain.
It was a
Normally it's
bit,
quite
yeah.
clear cut, isn't it? But we've not had like major villains like
No,
obviously even the year before we had Reese as well. And Ravi, you arguably go, is he? But obviously he's
mm,
back to being a villain, let's be
he's a
honest. As
bad
much
boy.
as I've not wanted to admit to it this
He's
past year.
certainly a bad boy. I think I do remember,
Yeah.
like during the old days of Phil and Grant, I think they were the most. They quite often got thrown into the best villain category just because of who they were, because they were bad
Yeah.
boys, you know. And I think it's hard to describe Ravi's stories this year as anything other than slightly villainous as well.
Yeah, there is that. Just got to admit to it, haven't we? But
He's a bad boy.
I think Joel, to be fair, I think I would agree that Joel out
Yeah,
of those, he was great, wasn't he? During the
yeah.
entire misogyny storyline.
Absolutely. Well, as we record this, we've still got the trial to come. So we've not
Yes.
seen quite the end of Joel yet. But I think, again, like we said with the Phil and Nigel story, the transition from era to era with this story has been really consistent. And this story is so important as well. I think that's the
Yes.
big part of it as well. Like the idea of incel culture and
Mhm.
misogyny, and especially in the young lads like Joel, is
Yeah.
such an important story to tell. And I think EastEnders has knocked it out of the park in that regard.
Yeah, I agree. And they even managed to make a documentary, didn't they, about it,
Mm.
which, again, super important. I love it when EastEnders do these
Yeah, they don't
hard-hitting
do them enough, do
issue
they?
storylines.
In terms of
No.
documentaries to go with it as well. Like,
Yeah.
it used to be a thing that used to do all the time, like the
Mm.
noughties especially, and they don't do them as much
Yeah.
now. And then on top of that has been just a really solid performance from Max Murray. Like Joel has been hateful and is like one of those characters that
Yes.
you just want to reach through the screen and punch. And he has been
Yeah.
absolutely stunning in that role, mixed in with everything that's to do with Alice Haig as well. They bounce off each other really, really well. And I think on the whole, it's just been a really well researched story. So yeah, absolutely fair play to that. So best villain to Joel this year. So now moving on to best storyline.
And in third place for best storyline was the 40th Vic explosion. In second place, we had Nigel's dementia. And in first place, Phil's breakdown with 34.6% of the votes.
Yeah,
Again, big year for Phil, weren't it?
huge
As is
year.
shown with our results here.
Yeah, I mean, it's hardly surprising because I think that storyline, it won so many awards anyway, even on
Yeah.
its own, but there was so much put into it. And Phil's story goes all the way back to that first flashback we had when we met Eric and everything in
Yes.
2023. So it's been like a 2 year long story,
Yeah.
really. Arguably one that's gone on for Phil's entire life.
Hmm.
And it really seemed to alter Phil's path. I feel like Phil has now been taken in a slightly new direction. Yes,
Yeah.
he will always be a big old angry dinosaur for the most part, but I
Yeah.
feel like this has actually altered him slightly and really
Yes.
changed him. Turned him into somebody who is a little bit more sort of emphatic towards people's feelings.
Yes.
And it's turned
Well,
him softer. Not softer, what do you think?
Well, I was just thinking, talking of which, do you think that he would have been as compassionate towards Nigel had the breakdown not happened? Or do you think he maybe wouldn't have been the support that he's been to Nigel?
I feel like he would have been as supportive, but I don't feel that he would have taken Julie's thoughts into consideration anywhere near as much as he has.
That is very true. Yeah, it would have been very much it's Phil's way or the highway,
Yeah,
perhaps.
exactly.
Yes, I can
Whereas
see that.
now he's beginning to understand the importance of having people around you, which is what Nigel really needs at the moment. Um,
Yes.
there is still that element of, Phil has made this promise to Nigel that he won't abandon him, that he will look after him until the end. And I feel like there is still that little bit of the old Phil left in there where that matters and nothing else does. Like loyalty to a
Yeah.
T, even when the loyalty isn't really that sensible to be going forwards. And it's like, how much are you thinking of Nigel at that moment as opposed to what your own personal beliefs of the situation are, you know?
Yeah, very true. And at this point as well, we're still at the point where they're looking into care homes, but now Phil's taken on board what Julie said, but he's still
Yeah,
backtracking. But
but
there's time for
still.
him to backtrack on that again as well,
mm,
isn't there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But Phil's breakdown, Steve McFadden was phenomenal throughout the entire thing.
yeah.
It's crazy to me that he only won his first national television award for this storyline last year. Like that's
Yeah,
mental. Like,
it is. But then we've seen a more varied performance from him, arguably,
mm,
because he's been this hard man for years. So everyone's just seen him as that anyway. So now
mm,
he's shown how many layers he can provide as an actor as well, hasn't he, this year?
yeah,
So I guess that's
100%.
why.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely stunning storyline. Well done to everybody involved in everything from the
yes.
writing to the
Hmm.
construction of it to all the direction that was put into all of those flashbacks and flash forward, well, not flash forwards, but in
Yeah.
terms of creating this picture of what Phil's life has been to lead him up to this point. It's been pretty stunning. So, and one of those things I feel like only EastEnders could have done, you know?
Yeah, but we would say that, Rob. We're a little
We
bit
would say
biased,
that.
aren't
We would
we?
say that. What's next, Ree?
Next, we have the results for Best Partnership.
So, best partnership. We're not talking about me and Ree here, okay? But we're actually talking about the EastEnders
That's a
characters,
given.
and
That's a
that's a
given.
given. We give ourselves that every week.
Come on.
And come on. The award for best partnership. Top three were Ravi Galati and Priya Nandra Hart. In second place were Suki and Eve Panesar Unwin. And in first place, with 63.6% of the vote, was Phil Mitchell and Nigel Bates. I mean, this is turning into the Phil Mitchell Awards, but at the same time, is it any surprise?
No,
We
it's not,
love
is
Phil
it?
and
Let's be
Nigel together
honest. Yeah.
from the moment that Nigel arrived back on the square and they started talking to one another again. It was like this really
Yeah.
sweet friendship was formed again. Like, I
Yes.
love Nigel so much, and watching him and Phil interact throughout all of this has been amazing.
Yeah. They've just, it's like Nigel never left as well, isn't it? Obviously, he's a
Mm,
kind of different Nigel, one could argue now. But yeah, it's been really sweet. And it's interesting that we decided to put the best partnership as Phil and Nigel and not Nigel and Julie because
mm,
I know that we've
yeah.
seen more of Phil and Nigel and best partnership. You often do think would be a couple, but it felt right that it's Phil and Nigel, didn't it?
Well, I mean, best partnership basically just needs to mean that two characters that spend a
Yeah,
huge amount of on-screen time together, and they
yeah,
are very
of
much
course.
sort of within that
Hmm.
pairing. They are both brilliant,
Like
and they're
Jean
both
and Stacey, I think we've had
yeah,
before.
yeah,
Yeah,
Gene and Stacey, for example. Yeah,
yeah,
like just two characters that just spend a lot of time on screen together.
yeah.
Nigel and Phil's stories together, they've taught each other so much, and I think it's just been really nice to sort of see it all unfold. I feel like looking after Nigel has really, again, really altered Phil. It's going to be
Mhm.
really, really interesting to see where Phil goes after Nigel.
Yeah, I was just thinking this, and I do think a lot of it will depend on what happens with Julie. But
Mm,
I, no, don't say it, Rob.
it'll happen. I'm telling you now.
I
I'm
mean, I think you're
adamant.
probably right. I just don't want
Adamant.
it to happen. But I do think Julie's going to stay, especially now that they're writing in that she's selling the house in Scotland. I'm here for Julie to stay,
I
though.
love
I mean,
Julie
I
so
changed my
much.
mind so quickly.
Mm,
One week I couldn't stand it. Next week I said, "Oh, keep her here forever."
yeah,
She's an
she's brilliant.
EastEnder,
She
a
is.
Yorkshire EastEnder. I like a Yorkshire EastEnder. I'm not going to lie. I know I'm a
I'm,
bit
t
biased.
I'm telling you now, this time next year, we'll be discussing the partnership of Phil and Julie.
Oh
Settle in.
no,
It's
yeah, you're
coming.
probably right. You're
It's
right.
coming. It is coming. Right, ladies and gents, let's now move on to best episode.
So the top three for best episode were in number 3, the Nigel Dementia episode that featured Pat, Barry, Debbie, and the flashback Mitchell brothers. In second place, we had Phil looks back to his childhood. And in first place, with 40.1% of the votes, was the 40th anniversary episode. Of course.
Feels like an anniversary should win that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
If he hadn't won, it's like, did you even 40th? You know?
Yeah, no, that is so true, though, to be fair. And it was quite a turning point for 2025. It led to a lot of the storylines, like Martin's death was obviously massive, impacted so much to do with the rest of the year as well.
I mean, we're talking only about the 40th anniversary episode, so I think either the live episode or the actual anniversary episode itself that was an hour long. Either way, I think most of the episodes that week you could have stuck onto this quite happily and people still would have gone for it, because I feel like you just associate the whole week with those episodes. Nigel's Dementia episode in third place, not surprised, because that was one of the best episodes for a long time. Seeing Pat, seeing Barry, bawling my eyes out, seeing Debbie again, you know, it was really good. And then obviously Phil looks back to his childhood, which won so many awards at the Soap Awards linked around it. That could have got it, but the 40th anniversary, absolutely right. What an anniversary it was. Explosions, deaths, returns, births, everything. The whole kit and caboodle that you'd expect from a soap we got for the 40th anniversary. It was all epic, it was all excellent, and 40%, ironically, of you voted for the 40th anniversary to be the winner of Best Episode. We move on now to Best Writer. So to Best Writer now. In third place was Brian Kirkwood. In second place, Lauren Klee. And for the third year in a row, the winner of Best Writer with 42% of the vote was Mr. Simon Ashdown. There does come a point with the writers of, you know, when you've got all of the writers listed in front of you, I wonder if some people maybe don't know who has written what. And I feel like Simon Ashdown is probably one of the best well-known names on the writing team. And because he's still there and he's still churning out great episodes, I feel like he is kind of prime suspect for always winning this award. But I feel like Lauren Klee has been sliding away up the scale ever so slightly. You know, 42%, it's not a massive kind of advantage over the others. So who knows? But
I think both Lauren Klee and Brian Kirkwood, if you're not always looking out for who's written the episodes,
which I am because I'm sad.
No, but if it's like being a particularly big episode, you notice it more. I don't know if everyone would agree with that, but because it's obviously the first thing that comes up on the credits as well. When it's been a bigger episode, you clock it and then you go, of course that was Lauren Klee. Yeah. Of course, that will Brian Kirkwood. So I think those actually represent the top three quite well, actually, that they are the names that you notice more because they do tend to write the bigger episodes. Well, Lauren Klee, like you say, keeps climbing away.
She does. I mean, all of those three, the top three there, Brian Kirkwood, Lauren Klee, and Simon Ashdown, they all wrote big episodes for Anniversary Week, as did Kevin Rundle, who is kind of a very frequent writer throughout the year and will always he writes a mixture of, sometimes he writes the big episodes, sometimes he'll write sort of a more day-to-day episode. Yeah. So I feel you're right that it kind of sometimes some certain writers get given the big episodes. The day-to-day writers, so to speak, maybe don't get thought about as much. You know, certainly in terms of those big episodes that we were talking about before, Nigel Dementia episode, Richard Davidson, phenomenal episode, deserves all the credit for that. Phil looks back to his childhood, James Payne, who came back and is now apparently back on the writers team full time. So that's great. You know, we've had some great new writers starting this year. Rory Nugent, Laurie Taylor. You know, all sorts of great writers that are experienced within EastEnders and know the fabric of the show. So will contribute great episodes as well. So what I would say, folks, is look out for the writers, because you know they are the people that write the dialogue and everything that we see on screen. They're not the storyliners, because the writers are told essentially what to write, but they are the ones that colour in the... Yeah, exactly. The writers colour in the pictures and the storyliners draw the pictures. That's the best way to remember it, isn't it? But no taking away from Simon Ashdown. He's a great writer and he knows this show inside out.
Definitely.
And I suspect we'll be seeing as though 2026 is a big year for Max, we will be seeing a lot more of Simon Ashdown in the credits this year. Who's next, Dre?
The character we want to see more of award. So the character we want to see more of award. In third place, we have Vinnie Panesar. In second place, we have Amy Mitchell. And in third place, with 33.2% of the votes, is Chelsea Fox.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
surprised by this. I feel like people
no.
have jumped on recently the fact that Chelsea hasn't appeared that much this year or last year. I
Yes.
think she was under 60 appearances for the whole year, which is crazy for a
Wow.
regular character. It's not a lot.
Yeah.
And people love Chelsea. You know, Zara
Yeah.
plays her fantastically. She's within quite an important family.
Hmm.
And Chelsea really hasn't been used all that much in the past year, has she? So I can understand
No.
why people want to see a lot more of her.
I do feel like Chelsea, personally, I think she's going to be involved with Max. I've just got
Mm,
this thing that that's how she's going to be on screen more for 2026. And she's already slowly trickling a bit more
she
onto our
is.
screens, isn't she? Like we've
Yeah.
seen her with Jasmine recently and being more part of the Truman family unit,
Mm.
even though she should always be there anyway. So I'm quite surprised at her 60 appearances.
Yeah, it really wasn't very much at all. And you're right. Seeing as though we know kind of Chelsea is at least in the frame to be marrying Max on New Year's
Yeah.
Day 2027, that
Hmm.
does suggest that she is at least going to be put in the spotlight for a bit over the next year in terms of it might be you, and we need to sort of establish the Max and Chelsea dynamic.
Yes.
She certainly fancies him. I think that got established, didn't it?
Yeah, it definitely did much to Penny's distaste
But
at
yeah,
that one.
as you could imagine. It's interesting with Chelsea because I feel like Chelsea's men, you know, it seemed as though last year we did see her sort of having a kind of quite blasé
Yeah.
affair with somebody. She's not bothered about any of that. And it'll be
Mm,
interesting to sort of explore that a little bit because in terms of she's not bothered about the fact that someone she's with might be married or with a family or anything like
hmm.
that. So mixed in with someone like Max, that could be an interesting dynamic. What do you think?
Yeah, and also if she ends up actually being the bride, she will be the person on potentially on the receiving end of the affair. And would it make her maybe see it a bit differently, once she sees actually the person I'm about to marry is laid in bed with somebody who's pregnant.
Mm, mm.
It might make her see things a bit differently this
It may
year.
indeed. In terms of the other two, Vinny, I mean, often Vinny is kind of one of these characters that people want to see
Yeah.
more of. I feel like, again, the suggestion is I think that we might be seeing a lot more of Vinny this year. In the thing with Penny and this
Yes.
baby that Jax ended up with, there's theories around that.
It's looking more and more likely that it's Vinny and Penny. That's the vibe I'm getting as well. And
Yeah,
even it could, to be fair, have been conceived on New Year, this
could
New
have
Year
been.
that's just been because the baby's a few months old, I think.
Yeah.
Did we really see the baby in that
No,
flash forward
we
episode?
didn't see how old the baby was.
Yeah.
We know it's a baby.
Mm.
You know, and I
Or
feel like
maybe not conceive New Year's, and if they're going to be starting a relationship, maybe the baby has just been born. But
yeah,
I'm really enjoying Vinny and Penny. I think they're
they
a very
work.
interesting pairing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they really work together.
Hmm.
And Amy, you know,
Yes.
again, probably one of the young ones that people always want to see more of. Again, with Jack maybe having a bigger year in terms of
Yes.
what's going on with Max, we may end up seeing more of Amy. Amy in herself is a really strong character,
Very.
and she's more than capable of carrying her own big story. So I hope she does get one this year.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what it could be. Oh, maybe
Mm.
her mum returning from the dead. I don't
That'd be
know if
nice,
that'll
wouldn't
be
it? Yeah, that
that
could be
would
a
be
thing.
lovely.
Hey, we've got another year of praying for this. I agree with you. If it doesn't happen next year, on the 10th
Yeah.
anniversary of Ronnie and Roxy's death,
That might be where we have to
that
stop
might be where we
theorizing
stop.
this ever going to happen. But we can live
Might
in
be,
hope for the year.
might be. But Chelsea winning the character we want to see more of in 2026 award. Next up is Best Newcomer. And so, Best Newcomer. Third place is Jasmine Fisher. In second place is Vicky Fowler the second. And in first place, with a mammoth 86.8% of the vote, is the one and only Oscar Branning. I mean, I'm not surprised that he's won it, but that is a
No.
huge amount to win it by.
Yeah, that's a massive amount to win it by. But sorry, but he has
He's
been the best
brilliant.
newcomer, hasn't he, by far?
He's
I mean,
brilliant. I
yeah.
absolutely love him. I mean, Pierre is just so EastEnders in his performance.
Yes.
The fact that someone so chaotic, now and again, you will get a character that comes across like that really quickly, and people
Hmm.
sort of back away from it slightly because it's sort of like, oh, you're too much. I'm not a fan. I don't like
Yes.
this. I didn't see that with Oscar. I think everybody was just
No.
instantly loved him the second he appeared, right?
Yeah, I mean, his first week, yeah, sure, there was chaos. Remember, he was hiding
Mm,
behind the van and everything. But yeah, I don't think anyone was like, oh, this is too much at all. No.
no.
And what I love is that you can tell that Pierre Molière, sorry, he's
Mm.
Pierre Cunningham Molière,
Cunningham Molière.
has really studied Jake Wood's mannerisms with Max
Yeah, the casting in
to
itself is
the,
ridiculous. Yeah.
yeah. He's really gone above and beyond to show those Max traits as well along the
Yeah.
way. Do you know what might be interesting though, having said that? Do you think he's shown many of Tanya's like personality traits along the way?
Um, I don't know. I feel like it's easier to see it in father and son than it
Yeah, of
is
course.
son and mother.
Mm,
And that's always been the way with soaps anyway, isn't it? Like, you look at sort of the pairings like Lily
yeah,
and Stacey, for example,
yeah,
or something like that. It's much easier to see the similarities within the same gender. I feel
yeah,
like maybe it's harder to sort of base anything on Tanya because a lot of Tanya's character, whilst Tanya was a great character in her own
yeah,
right, a lot of that was to do with how Max treated her and how,
yeah,
her
true.
reactions to Max. Whereas with Oscar, there is a lot of sort of it's all I've said it before, it feels like Oscar is a more innocent version of Max in a lot of
Yeah,
ways.
yeah, because he's not had all of the,
No,
well, we don't, not entirely sure
not
about his
yet.
entire childhood, but he's
No.
not had a lot of the trauma that Max had, has he? I do
Give it time.
think that Tanya, though, was often a very good ear to lend like to Jane and stuff. And I
Mm,
feel like he has those kind of qualities with
yeah.
Jasmine,
He's
you
got the
could
people
argue.
skills of Tanya.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
And the sort of I mean, yeah, we everyone always kind of clings on to the fact that Max is just this sex addict who,
Yeah.
under any excuse will go and sleep with somebody. There is elements of that in Oscar, but I feel, making the son of Max Branning a bisexual who could literally sleep with
Genius.
anybody is just,
Yeah.
of course, why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
It's perfect. And I'm interested to sort of see a bisexuality really represented on screen because actually it really doesn't get represented. It's kind of you don't really speak about it all that much in the
Yeah.
soaps. So that was a good thing to do as well. His relationship with Jasmine, who came in third place,
Hmm.
I think has gone down well. I think Jasmine gets associated very heavily with a story that maybe isn't resonating with viewers all that much with this
Yeah.
whole stuff with Zoe. But people do like the pairing of Oscar and Jasmine together.
Yes, I would agree with that. I think that has maybe redeemed some of Jasmine's character
Mm,
as well, because then we see a different side to her, I think, when we
yeah.
see her with Oscar, which has helped with people understanding her character.
Mm.
I just hope, I don't know, what do you think? Do you think they're going to stay together for 2026? I mean, it
Well,
depends on whether Jasmine's with us, of course. At this point, we
exactly. It
don't
depends
know.
how long we've got Jasmine for. We know
Mm,
that, according to Patrick, on New Year's Day 2027, basically considers Oscar to be a Truman by that point.
yes.
So, what has happened? How has
Would he?
Jasmine managed to kind of put her feet under the table at the Trumans? Is all forgiven?
Yeah.
Do they even know by then? Like, what?
That's what I was just thinking. Do you think that they've just forgiven her, accepted her as a Truman, and then therefore accepting Oscar?
Mm,
Or is it that he is with a different Truman?
who
Mm.
knows? And then in second place, Vicky. I mean,
Yeah,
we're always unsure whether to put a recast as
yeah,
newcomer. But to me,
yeah.
I kind of always feel that it's basically a new character with an old character's history, so to speak.
Yes,
But how could you not put Vicky on this list? Because
yeah,
she's been brilliant, hasn't she?
yeah, yeah, she really has. I'm hoping actually that we'll see a bit more of her. I feel like we've
Mm.
not seen her a lot recently, so I'm hoping in 2026 maybe we're going to see a bit more of her and Zach, I dare say.
Lucky girl, I say.
Talking of keeping it in the family, the next award is for
Oh,
Best Family. So the top three for the Best Family Award. In third place, we have the Mitchells. In second place, we have the Slaters. And in first place, with 30.3% of the votes, are the Brannings.
I think this is the first surprise of all the lists. I'm surprised that Branning's
I
won
agree.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, I was. I mean, fully fair though as
Yeah,
well.
I mean, it's not that they
Yeah.
don't deserve it, but I'm surprised that they won it out of all of it. I feel like Max's
Yes.
return has been a huge part of that.
Yes, very true. I agree.
Obviously, the fact that people adore Oscar has been a big part of that as well.
Yeah,
So bringing
definitely.
those two together with Lauren involved as well has
Yeah.
been, I think, really key and will be key moving forward into
Mhm.
2026. I've said before, I'm really, really happy with where the Brannings are at the moment.
Yeah. I think it feels as well really nice that the Brannings are in Dot's house.
Mm,
And I don't know if that's helped like make them feel more of a family unit somehow because they're in
yeah,
Dot's house.
yeah,
But I also really, really like, and I was thinking it actually recently, that I really like Lauren and Oscar together as brother and sister.
yeah.
I
That's really
think,
working.
yeah, their chemistry together, they're really funny together, aren't
Mm,
they?
yeah,
Like these little moments that they have talking about Max and how they bond over the dad and oh he's useless. Oh come on then. Let's give him another chance. Like I
yeah.
think those two together have what have maybe helped
Mm.
win that category. But like you say as well, Max coming back.
Yeah, and it looks to be a massive year, 2026, for the Brannings. So buckle
Hmm.
in if you're a fan of the Brannings. Obviously, 2027, New Year's Day, Max is going to be given a choice of who he wants to see shot, either Lauren or Oscar. I don't feel like either of them are actually going to be shot. I won't lie to you, but
I
it does
hope
suggest.
not.
I mean,
Surely
I can't
not.
see it. I
Surely
can't see
not.
it. A character losing three children would be utterly insane. I don't think they're going to do that.
I mean, Patrick's not far off.
Patrick's not far off, but I feel like, I mean, like I say, if he was going to lose another kid, it has to be over the side of the Vic roof, doesn't it? So
Yeah,
each of
true,
them, not
true.
quite the
Maybe
same
they're on the
thing.
Vic roof. We can't actually see where they
Maybe,
are
maybe they're in that little
in the
shed thing on
video.
top of the Vic
Yeah,
roof. You
yeah.
never know. You never know. Ah,
Imagine.
imagine that'd be good, wouldn't it? Mitchell's. It's always difficult to sort of know who people are talking about with the Mitchells because it feels like there's two very different camps with the Mitchells these days, doesn't it?
Yes, I agree because obviously you've got Nicola, Harry, and Barney,
Yeah, and then
and
Teddy.
Billy and
Yeah,
Honey, and
and
then you've
Phil.
also got Phil. And then do you class Nigel as part of the Mitchells? Because in my head, I do.
Oh well,
Like when I'm thinking
certainly.
of the Mitchells from this year, anyway.
Certainly, Julie Mitchell is going to be a thing soon. So,
You need to stop with that now, Rob. You're putting it
adamant,
out there too much. It's going to be a thing.
adamant.
Uh, but do you think it's just going to be a one nighter, or do you think they're going to end up like
I think they're
fully
going to
in a
end up together.
relationship?
I think they're going to end up in a
Oh,
relationship together. I'm telling you, I do, and I feel like new Phil will be really, really good with that. You wait and see. You wait and see,
okay.
Rihanna.
I'll be eating my
Um,
words anyway. I'm
well,
sure.
we'll
I'll
see.
probably be shipping it after one episode.
Probably,
So
probably. I know what you like. And then the Slaters, huge kind of in the Vic at the moment, so they're a huge part
mm,
of the show at the moment. Zoe's return kind of, I feel like, has been a bit of a Marmite thing, but
yeah.
clearly the Slaters this high up. Pete, some people are still obviously enjoying it, and having Cat in the Vic. How do you feel like Cat's doing in the Vic? I feel like putting the Slaters slash Moons in the Vic has been all right. Actually, I wasn't sure about it at first.
Yeah, at first I was the exact same. Like, oh, what are we doing putting Cat and Alfie back there? But actually,
Yeah,
I've enjoyed it. I feel like we've seen Alfie more behind the bar there than Cat,
yeah,
if I'm honest. Alfie's done a lot of the front of house,
yeah.
whereas Cat's been a bit too preoccupied looking for Minnie Mo and helping Zoe out every 2 minutes. So maybe we
It's
need to see a bit more of her in the
yeah.
Vic for 2026.
It feels like it's been the making of Alfie a little bit as well, because
Yes.
before I feel like Alfie maybe is a bit of a floater, whereas now you've given him the structure of being back in the Vic.
Mm,
He's very good at sort of being the landlord in terms of handing out
yes,
advice to people, being a mate to
definitely.
people. So that's a role that really, really works with Alfie.
Mhm.
Same with Kat. You sort of look at Kat as somebody that is just this kind of messy, flighty woman at times. You always think of Kat a total slag, all that kind of thing. But actually,
Yeah.
she's now got to a point where she's got life experience behind her, and so
Yes.
she actually fits into the role of landlady quite well because she
Yeah.
can. If someone comes to her with an issue, likelihood is that Kat's probably gone through it at some point.
Yeah, I mean, she's even turned her ear to Vicky a few times, and obviously,
Mm,
given Vicky and Zoe's relationship, but Kat was the one who sat down with her a few times after the whole Joel thing.
yeah.
I'm gonna put something out there. I think Kat could be there for best performance next year. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Okay. Of
Bessie Wallace is amazing, isn't she,
course
as
she is.
Kat?
Of
I
course she
feel
is.
like we've seen her, but we've still not seen enough of her, even though
Mm.
she's been on loads. I feel like we need to maybe see Kat having her own thing now rather than Zoe. Maybe Zoe can help Kat with something.
The mystery is though, New Year's Day, are they 2027? Are they still in the Vic? I feel like that was unclear on the
That's
flash
true.
forward, so
Maybe Kat's in the bed with Max.
could be. anything is possible. It's Max.
Yes, and
Okay.
Cat.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, next category, ladies and gents, is best return. So, best return in third place was Zoe Slater. In second place was Julie Bates. And in first place, 59.6% of the vote, no less, was Mr. Max Branning. I am not surprised by this whatsoever.
No, I don't think I'm surprised by this either. Max's return has been quite something, hasn't it?
Yeah,
And
it's been big.
yeah, mixed in with the flash forward episode as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And I feel
good
like people,
return, strong return.
yeah, really strong. And I feel like people wanted Max back for quite a while. I feel like,
Yeah,
well, it was so weird when he left before that like Max fizzled out by the time he left before. It was sort of like, yeah, it feels like it's time for Max to go now
yeah,
because there's nothing for him to do at all.
yeah.
He's barely got any family around him. The insane decision to write out both Abby and Lauren in
Yeah.
2018 or whenever it was,
Mhm.
just left Max sort of like a floating character to the point where, I don't know, he has an affair with Linda, was about all there really was for him to do. So
Mm.
by the time he left, it felt right. And then what they weirdly did was sort of create a load of reasons for him to be there once he was gone. To the
Yeah,
point,
yeah.
to the point
I
when
know.
he finally returned, I think we were really thirsty for Max to come back.
Yeah.
No more so than him meeting Cindy, which I hope we have a lot more of over 2026.
Yes, of course. And do you know what though, as well? I feel like Zoe's return might have been higher up there had it not been spoiled, which was so frustrating. Obviously, they announced it because I
Yeah,
think they knew it was going to get spoiled. But remember the episode, her actual physical return of that episode, it
yeah,
was. We had no 6 a.m. upload. Had
yeah.
that happened live, that would have actually been such a surprise because obviously they were trying to paint it as being Haley.
Yeah, well, don't forget they tried to. That was leaked. It wasn't announced. It was
Yeah,
leaked.
that's what.
Zoe's
Yeah, oh,
return.
sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
you see
yeah.
what you
But
mean?
then
Yeah,
they
yeah,
announced it
yeah.
afterwards. Yeah,
Afterwards,
because of
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Zoe's return has been a strange one because she's a character that we've wanted to see back because she's such a memorable
Mm,
character in terms of the "You Ain't My Mother" thing, and I feel
yeah.
like her actual return week, where she came back and met Kat again for the first time, that was all really really strong. Meeting her
Yeah.
back again in the spot. I feel
Yes.
like the problem with Zoe's return has just been it's just been circular. All we've been repeating the same stuff over and over and over and over again to the point where
Yeah.
when we finally started getting answers, it's sort of like I don't care anymore. I mean, like,
Yeah, it was the pacing, in fairness,
yeah,
and she's just been whiny, hasn't she?
yeah, she's
And I
whined a
know
lot.
this is meant to be part of a character as well, is
Mm,
that she's constantly feeling victimized to the
yeah,
point that when she is actually being victimized,
mm,
everyone's still saying, "Oh, you're just playing a victim." But I do, like I say, I think a lot of it's been pacing, like you say,
mm.
it's just been going on and on and on to the point that when we're getting the answers, we're like, I'm kind of over it. And we'd also figured out quite a lot of it as well.
Yeah, this
Like,
is the other thing. A lot of the twists
yeah,
and turns that this storyline is apparently supposed to be,
yeah,
I was like, they've been really sort of easily worked out as well. Like, yeah, nobody expected Anthony to be clubbed to death over the head on Christmas Day,
yeah,
but then at the same time, the evidence that we've got to who might have done it was really kind of quite clear as
yeah,
well. What I'm hoping for in 2026 is that now we've got all of these answers.
yes,
Unfortunately, we still haven't got her son, which the frustrating thing was most of Zoe's return has been, I'm looking for my son, I need to find my son, and we still haven't
yeah,
found the son.
yeah.
So we
There's
might be getting a lot
time
more
though.
son stuff in 2026.
Yeah. Do you think that'll be because surely she's going to be freed from prison at some point, whether
Shoot,
that's because
soon.
Jasmine actually goes down for it
Yeah, soon,
remains to
I
be
would
seen.
imagine. Richie might
Yeah.
work her magic. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens, but I'm assuming that she'll be out soon. And yeah, hopefully what might happen over 2026 is people start to warm to the story a bit more,
Yeah.
warm to Zoe a bit more. I mean, I've always said Zoe's never been likable. I don't think Zoe has ever
No.
been
Yeah.
somebody that she lashes out at people a lot. She plays the ultimate victim. And there's actually quite a lot of layers to her that don't necessarily make for a likable human being. And that's always been the case with Zoe.
Yeah.
So to have that back on screen again isn't surprising, but I feel like people just need to. I feel like the story itself is maybe what's let it down a little bit. I wonder
Yeah.
whether Letitia Dean leaving again has maybe kind of thrown things up in the air a little bit.
Yeah, possibly, and that they've had to rewrite a couple of
Yeah,
things and tweak a couple of things
yeah,
to make
maybe.
way for that. Potentially. But I think maybe now Zoe's found a daughter at least. I feel like they're gonna make her find a son a bit easier now,
Mm.
surely, if they've if I mean, how did Jasmine even know that Zoe was a mum? Do you know what I mean? We've still not had that really explained other than, oh, I saw her in a newspaper. But how did you know that Zoe
Yeah,
was your mum? We've not had
yeah,
that explained. So maybe once that's explained, the son will be found. And once Zoe's a bit more happy and, like I say, settled, maybe her focus will just be on helping his son or something out of
yeah.
whatever he's done
And
rather
whoever this
than,
son might be, yeah,
yeah, we still
we'll
need to
see.
find that out.
Second place was Julie, who, yeah, Julie's been great. I absolutely love Julie. I think Karen
Yeah.
Henthorne gives one of those just really, really natural performances. Like she's one of these that just doesn't feel like she's reading a script. She just feels like a normal human being, which I really, really like.
Yes, I know what you're saying. She's been a nice addition in Phil's house as
Mm.
well. Here we go. I'm just walking into all of this, aren't I?
I ain't saying a word, love.
But
I ain't
yeah,
saying
and
a word.
we for a while before she returned, we were like, Julie's got to come back there,
Yeah,
right? Julie's going to be joining us because
yeah,
it felt like that was building up for quite some time. But again, it also felt paced quite right as well. I feel
mm,
like all of that when she finally came back, we were
yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay, now we can breathe. And the fact that they decided to keep her with
yeah,
Nigel in Albert Square as well was just
yeah.
brilliant.
I also kind of just I like her role within other people's stories as well. Like, when she was involved in the
Yes.
Joel story, that was really
Yeah.
interesting. Like she's clearly got a slightly motherly kind of vibe to her, obviously helped by the fact that she works in a school. But I feel
Yeah.
like post Nigel, if she's sticking around, which I really hope she is, then she'll sort of slowly start to become this like mother of the square. She'll be somebody that
Yes.
people will go to have a cup of tea with and have a kind of
Yeah.
conversation about. She'll be one of these that has got an answer for every sort of difficult
Yeah.
situation placed in front of her. I think I love her.
Yeah, and like you said before, it'll probably be like the younger characters of the square will like have a lot
Mm.
of trust in her, I think, and go to her. Because as you were saying that, I was thinking, God, imagine her and Yolandi together, a powerhouse. They'd sort that
Perfect.
square right out,
Oh,
wouldn't they?
easily, easily.
Yeah,
So yeah, there we go. And then obviously Max's return. It's going to be a huge year for Max and a
yeah,
huge year for the Brannings. And I'm really looking forward to sort of seeing all the answers to the flash forward because I feel like they asked a lot of intriguing questions in that forward, and I'm really excited to sort of see how it all plays out. Final award, ladies and gents. There's always a twist at the end, which is why we finish on best twist.
And finally, the award for best twist. In third place, we have Chrissy as the stalker. Second place, Nigel sees Pat, Debbie, and Barry. And in first place, Angie appears to Sharon with 58.3% of the votes. I mean, come
Ironically, not a twist at that one, right? Oh, of course it is. Perfect.
yeah.
Like, oh, that moment, that moment, that moment, that moment. Just amazing.
Yes. I mean, we got, a Chris Crenshaw exclusive, didn't we, Rob? That
Don't know if
apparently
you've
only
seen.
about 10 people
Yeah.
in the entire cast and crew even knew about that, which is I mean, it's a shame, isn't it, when everything gets leaked and spoiled. Imagine if that had been leaked. That would have
That
just not had the
everyone,
impact at all,
yeah,
would
and
it?
everyone would have been, and the show would have been gutted. I think the thing is, though, those little moments like that, where it's like a very sort of one-off thing. Even when you go
Mm,
back to Kathy's return in the
yeah.
30th, like she then didn't appear on screen again for a few months after that. So they were able to do
Yes.
that one scene and keep that very, very sort of quiet and within sort of very select group of people that knew about it, and then get it
Yeah.
out there. And I think it was the same with the
Hmm.
Angie stuff that they kind of thought about it, asked Anita to do it, and they were able to keep it really close set and so that nobody knew
Hmm.
about it. And it was just an amazing moment and felt perfect during that anniversary to see Angie back on screen together with Sharon again. It was amazing,
Yeah.
utterly amazing. Loved it.
Yeah.
Chrissy is the stalker. I think
Yes.
I was surprised to see that in third place, but I feel like actually, in terms of, it wasn't a surprise. I don't think anybody sort of that. I saw a couple of people predicting it online, but I don't think a
Yeah.
lot of people saw it coming.
Yeah, we did have a couple of
Mm.
people like on Instagram. I'm really sorry, whoever you were, but you did keep saying it, and you were right.
Yeah,
But
turned
so
out.
it was quite a big twist for a lot of people. In fairness,
Mm.
I'm good because I kept saying Sam. I just said
Yeah.
the wrong person out of the trio of them, but it
Yes.
was a twist, and I just kind of wish that we'd seen a bit more of Chrissy there for it to. I know that, yeah, okay, she came back for Christmas Day. We had the
Yeah.
moment, all three of them in the pub. But I
Yeah.
almost feel like if you're going to get a bite, bring her back for maybe a, like a full 2 weeks at least?
I don't
You
know.
don't think? Oh, do you think that we're going to see her again?
No, I don't think we really
Oh,
need to see Chrissy again, in all honesty. I mean, I think she might make another appearance just to sort of, because there is the option that they might just frame Chrissy for this murder of Anthony,
yeah.
and we might see her again for that. But I feel like
Mhm.
in terms of any particular long-term story, I don't think there's a need for her. I feel like her
Yeah,
story has
true.
very much been done. She does work in terms of like this really, and I mean really, camp villainess that
Yeah.
sort of like throws a grenade in every now and again and has that
Mhm.
little story and then goes away again. But in terms of like, if you look at someone like Janine, who could come back
Yeah.
for a long stretch and then have quite a big story and then kind of go away again, I don't think Chrissy kind of fits quite into that category.
No. I just feel like I would have liked to have seen her for maybe 2 weeks in the lead up to the Christmas Day episode. Personally,
Mm,
maybe seen a bit more interaction of her and Jasmine beforehand. But it's happened. It
mm.
is what it is.
Nigel sees Pat, Debbie, and Barry. I mean, again, I love that Debbie. Well, we say that Debbie was a surprise. Apparently, I didn't see it, but Sean Williamson apparently did accidentally leak that was happening,
Oh,
which is a shame.
yeah.
But you didn't know that, did you? So Debbie
I
was a
didn't know.
surprise. No, so that
Yeah.
was really, really nice. And I
But
think seeing,
also,
well,
to be honest, she wasn't a surprise because I've been waiting for her to appear
yeah,
anyway. So when she came, I'm like, oh, okay, this is a nice moment actually for this to be Debbie's appearance again. So it wasn't
absolutely.
that much of a surprise.
Oh, that episode was so gorgeous. It really,
Yeah,
really, really was like a modern day sort of like amazing episode that was
yeah,
so emotional. And having Nigel and Debbie on screen together again for that final dance felt like something that
yeah.
needed to happen to sort of make
Yes.
that story feel complete. But then even looking at, seeing Pat again, like every time we see
Oh,
her, mistake, hello, shouldn't have been killed
that's
off.
one that you can't
Still be
rectify
there.
either,
You can't.
unfortunately.
No,
No.
you'd struggle to
Or
bring
Barry
someone
for
back
that
to
matter.
life. Yeah, no, Barry's definitely dead, and Pat's definitely dead. Unfortunately, Debbie's definitely dead as well. So,
Yeah.
um, but all brilliant in terms of like the return and like their interactions with Nigel back to the 90s. It just felt really, really satisfying. But yeah,
Do you
ultimately,
know what, as well? Sorry, I would argue the biggest twist in that for me was seeing the Flashback Mitchell brothers again as well. I
yes,
really enjoyed that. Like, that was a really nice touch. Wasn't expecting it at
no.
all either.
I feel like they're almost running out of reasons to bring those boys back, and it's sort of a shame because I want to see much more of them.
Oh, just do a spin-off series. Come
Well,
on.
yeah, do the spin-off
Make it
series for a
happen, whoever
start.
it is who needs to make it happen. Come
Bring us
on.
bring a series back for
Before
a
they get
start.
any older.
Although alternatively, is there a universe where you could maybe see, two previously unmentioned Mitchell boys kind of be brought into the fold of the family and they could just be brought in that way? Could that work?
No, because we know them now as young Phil
You
and
know them as
Grant, I
young Phil and
think.
Grant. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
unless you made them look a bit different, I guess,
They've dyed
maybe.
their
And
hair.
yeah, but they were just so incredible. The voices of
Yeah,
both
this
of
is the
them
thing.
just
This
sound.
is why we've become so connected to them because
Yeah,
they are just Phil and Grant, aren't they? Like the
yeah, they
casting
are.
was insane. Daniel
Hmm.
Delaney especially was just insane as Phil.
Yeah,
Like he is
definitely.
Phil. He it is like Steve McFadden was plucked out of the 70s and then the 80s and then the 90s and just put on
Literally.
screen and then just put back on screen again. Ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
insane, brilliant.
Insane. So brilliant. So there we are then. That is 2025's awards. What will we be giving out on New Year for 2026? Time will tell. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can do the following.
You can find us on Facebook at Albert Square After Dark, on Twitter and Instagram at E20 After Dark. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. You can listen to us on Apple and wherever you find your podcasts. Drop us an email at e20afterdarkpodcast@gmail.com. And if you'd like to buy us a coffee, you can do so by going on buymeacoffee.com/E20 After Dark.
Yes, you can indeed. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for voting. And thank you very much for listening. We'll be back with the usual podcast episode at the weekend. And until then, it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
See you then. Goodbye.
Bye.